In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boys, CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader, here with another episode of What If Wednesday. Miguelito, ¿cómo estás?
Dude, I'm excited for this one. It's gonna get wild in here, dude.
If you haven't been here for a What If Wednesday, we put on our tinfoil hats, and tonight I'm going to tell you this: we're not putting on tinfoil hats. We're putting on a baseball cap and telling you what time it is. Okay, so stick around for it. What are we diving into tonight, Miguel? Tell the people.
The shortages are coming, right? And when we talk about shortages, we're not trying to sell you fear. We're literally telling you exactly what is happening and no one's talking about. And when they do, they just disregard it. They just, there's nothing to see here. Just keep on moving along. So
yeah, I was telling my mom about our NFT project, and you know, my mom's a person that is what's the word I would look for? So first of all, great woman of God, like just a spiritually awesome, just a awesome woman, right? Obviously, I'm talking about my mom, but that's just the truth. But she also is an idealist, where she looks at and sees the best in everyone. Like, there is no way, when I first called it the pandemic, she lost her mind. Like, I can't believe you would suggest that this would blah, 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 right? At any event, I started talking about our NFT project, and she was like, you know, I don't think you need to be scared about this, that, and I said, listen, Mom, it's not about being scared. It's about, I know where I'm at spiritually, so I'm locked up there. So now physically, I have a family to take care of. And if things would go sideways, I want to be prepared. And that's just bottom line. And so that's what we're here for, folks. We're not here to sell you fear, but we are going to dive into some real stone cold facts. And we're going to look at some ways that you can both financially and physically, outside of the financial realm, take care of yourselves, take care of your family. So if you like that idea, make sure to smash the likes, make sure to give us a follow. Guys, we need some extra people in the Discord. I'm going to guess that the 31 people in here aren't all in the Discord. So down below the video, you guys know where to find the good stuff. Make sure you jump into the Discord. Make sure you follow both of our Twitters. I know we're asking a lot, but we're going to try to give you a lot in return. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let me start off. Let's take a look at the markets, because I think for the first time in a couple days, we might have some green. Let's check it out. The global crypto market cap is at 1.80 trillion with a T dollars, up about 5.34%. I like it. Bitcoin at 39.6. We're approaching 40K. That's good. Well, about 5%. ETH approaching that 3K number. Guys, again, I always point this out, but I want to point it out again. Bitcoin approaching that big psychological 40K. ETH.
I just want to say, you shorted and the market went up.
I just want to say,
you might have taken profits, but it still went the other way.
I had a 24% win on that trade. Thank you very much. So you know, just keep moving with that comment, okay? BNB, guys, I keep talking about these psychological levels. 401.99. XRP, well, XRP Army, you can put them up, but it's looking rough. 64 cents, but we are up 7%. Solana creeping up on $100. It's at $92. Cardano at 89 cents. And then rounding out the top 10, we've got Terra and Terra UST, Terra stablecoin at $86, and then obviously the stablecoin at $1.
The Terra twins.
Yeah, the Terra twins. That's right. That actually sounds like a name, and they're like, the Terra twins. Do I know a Terra? Yeah, Terra Luna. Yep, that's her. She's a hottie. All right, let's dive into it. Chat. Let's have some fun tonight. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Let's not get too wild, but let's have some fun. Also, if you're looking for TA, obviously it's still a crypto channel, even though Wednesday nights can get a little, you know, off the beaten path. Make sure to check out Frankie Candles. He's before the show, 5:45 to 7:30. Candle Mafia, put them up. Let's have some fun. And then, as always, Thursday nights, we do our TA with CVO, and he and Magic Money, or Magic Internet Money, are good friends of the channel as well. So make sure to follow them. All right. Let's dive
let's get into it, man. Come on. Let's give these people what they came for.
Give the people what they are waiting for. Let's start it off with, here we go.
The suspense.
Drum roll, please. Why do all these food facilities keep catching fire? Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but we're going to dive into it. Here we go. Fire seems to be the buzzword of the day as America continues to witness fire after within its food production facilities. This comes right on the heels of a ban on the exportation of a Russian fertilizer, numerous fertilizer plant fires within America, and a chicken problem we're facing in the US. But fire? Why do they keep popping up within American food infrastructure? What are we seeing here? Here are a few fires we've seen so far just this past 4 months. Now, I'm going to mention a few of these, okay? In Clovis, New Mexico, on February 3rd, the Avalon grain elevator suffered an explosion. While it was said that the cause of the fire at this time is unknown and will be under investigation, it is thought that it was caused by grain dust accumulating in a part of the welding of some ductwork and catching fire. We then have one on February 4th. A fire decimated a portion of Wisconsin River Meats, a plant that specializes in sausages. It was later said that the old portion of the plant is a total loss. We go down farther. We got February 18th in Claypool, Indiana, February 22nd in Hermiston, Oregon. We've got March 15th, Pilgrim's Pride. That's a chicken processing facility, was shut down after a dangerous ammonia leak was detected. This isn't the first time the particular facility has had problems with ammonia gas leaks, however. March 16th, we got Hot Pockets production line in Nestle, Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Not the Hot Pockets.
Not the hot dude. You can take anything from me. Do not take my Hot Pockets. All right. March 17th, March 23rd, March 24th, and it goes on and on. April. So all of these places are catching fire, and I'm going to go down to the end here.
These are all separate facilities. This isn't the same facility catching fire every couple of days.
That's
these
right.
Are all different facilities all around the United States catching fire.
So the question, what's the deal with all these fires? America is a big nation. Are these just typical events that we're now hyper-focusing on? You find what you're looking for after all, right? But with everything going on at the moment, with all the warnings of global famine on the way and the constant threat of America conventionally entering World War III, this all seems as if something apparent is going on. What are your thoughts on the matter? Is it just business as usual, or is there something more afoot? Let us know what you're thinking. Guys, I want to know in the comments. Tell me right off the bat. We're talking about numerous fires all over the country that are happening. It's not multiple just homes that are burning down, which happens, right? Things happen. We got so many homes. We're talking about specifically food processing facilities. It seems very niche.
During the same coincidence that we have the war with Ukraine and Russia happening, which we know Ukraine is one of the massive exporters of fertilizer and wheat. They're not going to be exporting anything, right? China has come out. There's articles about this. I can pull one up if you guys want, of them refusing. Big manufacturing companies are refusing to export any fertilizer to the outside world so that they can keep their supply domestically up. AKA, we're getting less food to the world, and then we're also receiving less fertilizer to the world, meaning the farmers of the world are going to be able to produce less unless you can come up with this change in supply from somewhere else. And we already know how supply chains have been doing these past 2 years, not very well. So a change in supply is not going to go well at all.
Yeah, and you know what's wild? This takes it to another step. Is do you know who owns the most farmland in all of the United States? Does anyone want to take a guess in the chat? I'm going to give you guys just a second in the chat. Drop it in there. Who owns the most farmland in the United States? Who is it? I know somebody in the chat is going to smash this right off the bat really quickly. And it's scary, man. I'm going to let the chat answer it because I know that they're going to answer it.
Yeah. But in the meantime, so we put out a question today in our Discord, right? In the Danger Close Alpha Discord.
Yeah.
About what people are doing to prepare. And this were some of the answers, right? Working in a hospital, aka gaining skills. Another person, saving water in jugs in case the water supply goes away, right? So saving water, that's very important as well. Another person saying building a livable camper so that because they don't have land, they can't be a homesteader, so they have to have some type of movable home in case they need to get out of someplace. Another person, canning, gardening, and education. Just raised a shoe horse bed, I guess, to start gardening in their.
I think those are the raised. I think those are the raised beds. Yeah.
Yeah. So like all these people are doing these different things to be able to survive, right? These little things in your life that you can be doing to gain resources just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah. And that's what this is about. So we want to focus on solutions tonight. Okay. We're going to talk about some crypto solutions. We're going to talk about some financial solutions. We're also going to talk about the food solutions and other solutions to problems that are at hand. I do want to say I should have specified the question a little bit better. Who is the private individual that owns the most farmland? Because I think probably Monsanto. Somebody said Monsanto. I think they probably do own more than Bill Gates. I don't know that, but it is Bill Gates was the answer that I was actually looking for. So good on all of you that threw that out there. But let's start off with this. Let me read one more article.
And with all that farmland come water rights, because he's not just buying any farmland.
Oh yeah,
He's buying
right.
land with water. That's
Right.
another thing. If you buy land in a desert, good for you, but you ain't
Yep.
gonna do nothing out there. You
That's
need
right.
water rights on those lands.
That's right. And we're going to get into water stuff as well. Let's take a look at the forecast. They've got an actual forecast for food shortages in 2022. So it's been nearly 100 years since the last time any American experienced food shortages. Now, it is just around the corner. We have shown up to grocery stores with expectation. Want food? We will just go get it. Complacency is something which permeates generations who enjoy easy living. When I was 4 years old, I always wondered, how come we never run out of food? I found it amazing. Everyone could go eat as much as they did. How did so many people eat all the time? Where, excuse me, where was all the food coming from? How come it's always available? I was a child when I first asked this question. Now I'm an adult asking the same question. How do people think food will just keep appearing? We are dealing with a global warming, bankrupt farmers, and now U.S. government just picked a fight with a country who controls nearly 1/3 of all grain production. Are you seeing the issue here? It turns out Joe Biden just told us I was not wrong. We do not have a food shortage. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. So it goes farther into this. I want to go a little bit farther. When I read Joe Biden's remarks, I made a comment. On March 24th, I wrote, food will be the new currency of the 2040s. Gold is valuable, but sometimes it takes time for people to recognize the shine. Joe Biden publicly admitted food shortages were coming. With scarcity comes price appreciation. Okay, so let's pause. So we told you we would talk about not just the food and water and things of that nature. Let's start off on the financial sector. Let's start there. Okay. So we who was it? Was it Bear? Was it Bear?
Yes, Bear Independent. Yeah.
Bear Independent says that he is a grain or is a rice and beans literally as his form of
currency.
Flat out. That's all he's doing. Okay. So that's going to be kind of more on an extreme side of things, saying, hey, I don't have any other currency that I'm
but think about it. It's actually not a terrible idea. A lot of preppers are super fixated on gold and silver. But if we're talking about grid down, worst case scenario, right?
Yeah.
World War III, whatever it is,
Mhm.
Why would you be bartering for gold? Why would I be giving you my chickens for gold? Right? Why would I be giving you my ammunition for gold?
Yes, exactly.
I would want something that I actually need, which is food, because I can't go too many days without food. I can't go too many days without water, right?
Yep.
So now that we start talking about this stuff, like the gold and silver doesn't really make a lot of sense in world economic, disaster.
Well,
scenarios.
absolutely. And I think it comes from a place of, we talk about being well rounded. Okay. When we say well rounded, we're talking about having different assets. We're talking about, maybe you have some stocks, you have some crypto. Obviously, we love crypto. So that's most likely our biggest holdings. But we've got some gold, we've got some silver, we've got some food, we've got ammunition. So we've got all of these different things. And in a well rounded as much as possible, I'm pretty crypto heavy. But all of those things, basically round out what can be diversifying a portfolio, and we think that's important. But the reality is, Miguel, what you're asking is, if literally the world was going to be at the brink of total and utter disaster, what do we need gold? Well, then the question becomes, what do we need Bitcoin at that point too? To be fair, right? If we
100%.
If we genuinely were headed to a point where we were grid down, where we were at war with, martial law is in the United States, and we're at war with other countries, and all out World War III breaks out. Yeah, you're right. Food, ammo, and water. Point blank. Period. Those are going to be the three things that you're going to need. So, Miguel, kick it off. What does that look like? How can we be effectively storing? Let's start with food. Let's start food. Let's do water, and let's do ammo. What's some good things that we can tell the people in the chat? And chat, if you guys are wanting to comment on any of this, we're paying attention to the chat. We're paying attention to the chat. So just as a reminder, Miguel,
Yeah, the
start
chat's
us off with
blowing up
food.
today.
Yeah.
So what's the question? What was the question again?
So if we're looking at food, water, and ammunition, which we would both agree in a world crisis, those are going to be the three biggest forms of currency, if you will. What does it look like to store food? What are some good ways we can do it? What are some simple things you can do? What's expensive? What's not? Just kind of give me an overview.
Most basic and simplest terms, right? There's two very simple. One, you can go buy a boatload of freeze-dried food / MREs, right? You can buy them by the bucket load.
I've eaten a lot of those MREs, by the way.
Yeah, they're a little bit more expensive, but you get more in food, right? You get all kinds of different flavor. You get pancakes, you get sweets, you get all stuff in there. So yes, great for actually enjoying the meal. Super cheap, super easy. Buy 5-gallon buckets, as many as you can, and buy as many sacks of rice and beans. You put the rice and the beans separately, obviously, into these 5-gallon buckets inside of these food grade packaging that is made for that you can buy. You have to obviously buy separately from the buckets, but you put that package inside it's like a little sack. It looks almost like a little trash bag, but it's food grade. You put that inside. It has a name. I forget what it's called right now.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. And you put that inside the sack, inside the bucket. I mean, you put the food inside the sack. You seal it. It will keep the food fresh long term.
Oh, I think they are Mylar bags. I think
Mylar
they are
bags.
Mylar
That's
bags.
what they are. Yes,
yep,
Mylar bags. That's exactly what they're called.
Good call, baby.
You put the beans and the rice in there separately in their own buckets, and you seal it, and they're good to go for a long time. They're not gonna go. Nothing's gonna get to this. There's not gonna get any rats, any cockroaches, anything in there. It's fully sealed, and it's gonna be protected for a very long time. That's the easiest thing you can do to stack food. It might not be a good diversity, but you're gonna have carbs. You're going to have some protein from the beans, and you won't go hungry. You won't go starving. It's one of the easiest things to cook, too. You just got to pretty much boil it in water. You got rice and you got beans ready to eat.
Yeah, and so someone said vacuum seal the Mylar bags. If you can actually vacuum seal them, that's even all the better.
And to seal them, it's not very hard either. You can get as easy as something as the air ironers that your wife or your girlfriend uses to straighten their hair, and you literally just seal the top of the bag after you've taken out all the air, and boom, it's good to go.
Yeah. So another thing that you can do, and this is going to be important if you still, if we still have, let's say we still have the ability to commercially freeze things. I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier today. What if you go out and you buy a side of beef or a whole cow, and you deep freeze, you freeze in like a real deal, deep freezer, a bunch of meat. That's a great idea. We have some simple things that you can do. Canned foods. My wife was talking about how where are we going to put this stuff, right? And I'm like, listen, we got a 3,500 square foot house and a huge full basement. Like, we've got room. It's just making the places for the food. And so you can do simple things like that.
And not everybody can afford to buy a full cow. A cow is quite expensive.
Me and my buddy. I said me and my buddy. I mean, we're talking about two people buying it.
Between you and your buddy, that runs you about like 2 ETH, depending on the cow.
Oh, I don't know what the prices are right now.
They're a few $1,000s per cow.
Are they?
Yeah, especially on the age. If you get a really young one, it might be a little bit cheaper. If you get a bit of an older one, it might be a little bit cheaper too. You might get a discount. But if you get like a prime age cow, like depending on the weight of that cow, you're definitely running a few grand, about an ETH at least, about an ETH.
Okay, I'll have to look at that. I don't know. We've got some friends that do some cattle farming, and they know. But I will tell you the answer and the reason that I am interested in all of this really got ramped up right here. This right here is my beautiful daughter. You guys see her like every single night. This is Addison, and this is the reason that I really want to make sure that we are prepared. My wife, heck with her, but my daughter, right? Obviously, you guys know I'm kidding. Love my wife to death, but yeah, my daughter is the reason.
Now you bring up your daughter. And we're talking about shortages, formula shortages, man. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's literally formula shortages in all the stores. People are literally fighting for formula. It's like if you literally can't breastfeed and now there's no formula in the shelves, they're babies. They can't eat the things we're talking about that we're preparing. So it's like, what do you do for stuff like that, right? So that's literally one of the things you should be doing if you have a formula fed baby, is stacking up on formula, not because of, you know, whatever problems we're talking here. It's just in general. Look what's happening right now. Formula shortage. What are you going to feed your baby?
Yep. And so I think to simplify this, also, you can also, if you want to spend some extra money, there's a lot of different websites that you can go on to. We're actually, as part of our NFT, we're going to have we have a partnership with somebody that's going to have, we're going to be giving you guys some freaking killer deals on long-term food stores. They come in big buckets. They're pre-prepped, add water. I say pre-prepped. They're dried out and they're ready to add water, and you can eat them. They're like MREs. I was in the Marine Corps, which a lot of you know, so I've eaten quite a few MREs. It's very similar to that. So food, the basic idea here is have something, right? Like, I personally, right now, I will tell you guys, I don't personally think that we're going to get to a point right now where it's like, oh my gosh, nobody has food for a year. That's not where I think things are headed. But what I do think things are headed is there's going to be shortages and outages and not be able to get things. And people are going to start to kind of panic. And when people panic about food, it can get ugly, which
Look
brings
what happened
me
with the toilet paper.
Yes.
What happened with the toilet paper? In a blink
Exactly.
of an eye, toilet paper was gone. Right.
And let's be fair. Do you need toilet paper?
No,
you don't, right? Like, I'm not trying to be crass, but I'm just saying you just don't need it. You take
and it was gone.
Right?
It was literally one of the first things that was gone. What we're trying to get here is getting in the habits, right? Just how we've gotten into the habit of dollar cost averaging into crypto, you know, to prepare ourselves to grow our portfolio, right? Grow your pantry, grow these habits of looking at these certain things and being prepared in case they go away, because everybody likes to wait until the emergency arises and then says, oh man, I'm going to go to the store and buy up a lot of this. But wait a minute. Now we have thousands nationwide all having the same thought at the same time, rushing to these stores. It's too late, right? So get into the habit early before things begin to disappear. And I'm not saying throw your whole paycheck at it and do nothing but this, but have a few things, have a few days, a few weeks, maybe a month or two, if you can, right? If you have the space, if you have the extra money for it, and get into the habit of accumulating these essentials.
Yep. It's the same thing as having an investment portfolio, right, guys? You want to have, if worst came to worst, if you have an investment portfolio, you have something that if your life blew up in front of your face and you needed to pull some funds from somewhere, you'd have it. I want to just take a quick pause here. We've got 2 super chats. Thank you guys very much. And I got to tell you, this one's good. So thank you very much, Shambles. We appreciate it. Plant-based diet for the win during the apocalypse. I got to say, I like it.
Unless you're going to go to the backyard and just start eating grass with the goats, I don't see that diet helping you survive.
What do you mean? There's plenty. You get plant-based proteins. Come on now. There's lots of plant-based protein. Arnold Schwarzenegger is eating. No, not off grass. I'm not a cow.
Hold on. What I'm trying to say is plant-based diets are highly processed foods that take a lot of manufacturing power and supply chains to produce these foods, right? So it's not that easy unless you're just going to be eating rice and beans. That's going to be the plant-based diet, because outside of that, there's not a lot of plant-based things that are
to be honest, I actually I think that you're wrong, but I can't have an educated conversation with you about it because I don't know enough to actually argue. But I do think that there's more there than you might believe. We need to look into that. We need to look into some more of the vegetarian style things. It's not my thing. It's definitely not for me. I'm definitely a meat guy, no doubt. I'm going to be hunting. I'm going to need my ammunition, which is what I was getting at. So let's say we start having all of. Oh, and let me take a quick pause, guys. Smash the likes, share this out. Let's have some fun. Keep killing the chat. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you guys for all of the love. We appreciate each and every one of you. And just as a reminder, we're not here to sell fear. We're here to talk about, hey, there's some ways for you to be prepared should things get a little squirrely, get a little sideways. So the next thing I would say, ammunition. Ammunition is absolutely a must. Now, you don't have to be, Second Amendment gun activist, guns all the way, guns all over my house. You don't have to be that.
A lot of people weren't until the fog around the world started, and then a lot of people were. We were literally seeing things flying off the shelves.
Do you remember the price of ammunition when all that was going?
Ammo and firearms were literally flying off the shelf. Lots of people that were never owners
That's right.
all suddenly became owners of
Mhm.
firearms. It's like, wait a minute,
Yep.
what happened to the whole anti whatever, like
And so that's really simple though, guys. There's two things that really that I think really you can plant yourself firm in. One, if you had to, you could hunt. It does make hunting easier. It's going to be much easier to hunt with a firearm than it is a bow. Let's just be fair, right? You can have
oh,
a bow as
100%.
well, but and a bow is going to be quiet, and there's great things that you can do
But
with a
the
bow.
problem with the bow is that you got to be super close. You got to be
Yes,
super close.
exactly, exactly.
And to get to that, to close that gap in between you and a wild animal, you have to be very, very skilled. And even then, it is extremely hard for it
Yeah.
to happen. Just watch Meat Eaters on Netflix. I highly recommend it. Watch Meat
Actually,
Eaters.
I've seen that. That's actually
Watch
a good
Meat
show.
Eaters. You'll see them lots of times going out bow hunting, and you'll see how difficult it is for these people that go hunting as a regular thing in their life struggle to get an
Yeah.
animal.
So the ammunition I think is pretty self explanatory. You figure out that. Now let's talk about water. I have an interesting one to bring. Miguel, you said this to me, and I genuinely did not know that this was a thing. So here's what I said before the stream. I talked to Miguel, and I was talking about rain barrels. If you don't know what a rain barrel is, a rain barrel is something, whether it's up underneath your gutters, whether however you have it set up, you are collecting rainwater in a barrel that you then filter, depending on where it's actually coming from. If it's coming off of your roof and whatnot, you better sure filter it unless you like asphalt in your drink, unless you like bird poop. You're going to get avian flu, and that's a whole nother story. But you need to filter that, right? But rain barrels are a way that you can have quite a bit of water stored as long as you filter it. Miguel's comment was, is it legal in your state? And I laughed, and he was like, I'm not kidding. And I said, what do you mean? Is it legal in my state? Of course it's legal. Like what? It's illegal to bring in and hold,
To collect
rainwater,
rainwater.
to collect rainwater. And he was like, yes. And I was like, not a true story. He said, yes, it is. So check this out, guys. I want to show you this. Look at this. This is nuts, right? This is in the state of Ohio. It is legal in the state of Ohio, but look at this. There's a caveat here. I'm going to pull this up. Is it legal to collect rainwater in Ohio? Rainwater harvesting is legal for both non-potable and potable uses, as long as the water system is providing drinking water to fewer than 25 people. Let me just take a pause here. Why do we think that our lovely government would enact such a law that, hey, listen, you can collect water, but you better sure not provide it to more than 25 people? Why would they do that, Miguel? Talk to me.
Well, the obvious answer, which a lot of people will probably point to, is like, well, because you might not be treating the water properly or filtering, and you can get a lot of people sick
Yeah.
with that.
Yep.
Completely understandable, right? But if you're in your own land and you're literally collecting water, and let's say on your land or your neighbors around your land, they're all collecting water and they're all sharing this water, and you're more than 25 people, you might be having a problem. Just like how in some places you are not allowed to be disconnected from the grid. You can't just sit on your plot of land and poop in a bucket or poop in the backyard
And use it as compost or
use it as
whatever.
compost or whatever, right? You literally need to be connected to the sewer system and the electricity grid. If not, they will come knocking. They will boot you out
That's
if you do not
true
comply.
story.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is real. This is real, and it's crazy. They make you depend on the system. They do not want you to be independent of the system.
There it is. And I want to say this. So when Miguel and I started down this path of our NFT project, which is Danger Close Alpha, if you guys aren't in the Discord, make sure to jump in the Discord. We're doing giveaways there. We've got some whitelist spots coming. We got another giveaway coming. Make sure you guys jump in the Discord. The link is down below. I see Rice TVX in the house. Rice, my brother, we need to have you on again soon. We love you, Rice. Thanks for being here for support, dude. We really appreciate you. But the project, when we started talking about it, one of my concerns initially was, you know what, we're passionate about this, so we're going to do this, and we want to bring the knowledge to the people that they can be prepared and they don't have to be doomsday preppers building a bunker, digging a bunker in their backyard. But one of my concerns initially,
Somebody in our Discord is actually doing that.
But okay, so it's beautiful, it's awesome. If you've got the money and the time and all of that, hey, I'm all about it, right? But what happens is the same government that doesn't want you to be able to provide 25 people or more with water is the same government that will make these people look nuts, that will call people conspiracy theorists, that will say that 24 different plants burning down in 3 months time is a food plants is a coincidence, right? Will we get demonetized for this stream tonight? Probably, right? Because speaking on things like this, they just don't like it, right? And it's kind of scary to me. And we want people to understand, you don't have to listen. You can have a drink once in a while, right? That doesn't mean you're an alcoholic and you're just all in and just slamming bottles and this, that, and the third, right? Maybe you have maybe you I'm trying to think of another good example. Maybe you watch your calories. It doesn't mean you're anorexic, right? There is good in what's the word I'm looking for? Just in moderation. Right? So Miguel and I are diving into this. We've got Danger Close Alpha. We are bringing all of these things to the forefront. We want to bring the crypto space together with the survivalist community and marry that together. So next weekend, I want to tell you guys this. Next weekend, Miguel and I are going on a 3-day, and we're going to get a bunch of video, a bunch of content for you guys. We're going to show it to you. It's going to be fun. We're going on a 3-day prepper boot camp is really what it's called. It's called Old School Boot Camp, I think is what it's called. It's some old school prepper boot camp, right? So it's here in Ohio. Super excited about it. There's over 80 classes. We're talking about everything from candle making to blacksmithing to butchering to firearms classes to archery to Krav Maga,
medical care.
Yes, medical care. All of the things that we are providing as part of our real life utility with our project is things that are going to be experienced at this. And so we're going to bring some of that to you guys so you can check it out. I'm super excited about doing it. Miguel's flying in next Thursday night, so it's going to be a really good time. But the reality is, we're not there to have a good time as much as we're there to educate ourselves, to further be able to educate you. Because the reality is, just like anywhere else, just like in the crypto space, just like in education or history or whatever the case may be, you're always learning. And so there's a lot of new techniques and tactics and things that you can do. And we want to bring, and I want to tell you guys this, we have the hunter, we have the engineer, we have the medic, and we have the merchant. Okay. Those are kind of like 4 pillars of survival. And as many of you know, we have an artist from DC Comics that came in, Kanan. He's freaking awesome, doing beautiful artwork. We want to look at those pillars and bring you a simplified, condensed version of, hey, here's how you can be effective being a hunter. Here's how you can be effective being a medic. Here's how you can be effective being an engineer and building things. Here's how you can be effective as a merchant, bartering, whatever. We want to simplify those and bring them to you, but then we want you guys to take that next step. And that's part of what this is about. We're going to bring the education to your front door, and then you're going to do the next bit of work, and we're going to have some fun while we do it, right? Yeah. I'm pumped, dude. I'm really excited.
I want to answer this question here real quick. So somebody goes, how does crypto and doomsday fit together? Crypto isn't going to do you any good in a post-apocalyptic world. One, with the amount of money you can make in crypto, it can prepare you for when that moment comes. That's one. Two, if a moment were to arise, you can carry your money in your hardware wallet a lot easier, across state lines, across borders, across whatever, right? Way easier than you can with your gold and silver. Look what happened in Ukraine.
Just your private keys.
Exactly. Right, look at what happened in Ukraine. Perfect example. People were literally getting their stuff stolen, taken away, and literally you can't take a real estate. You can't take your bars of gold or whatever. Three, Bitcoin can actually be transmitted through radio frequency. So yes, you could use your Bitcoin in a grid down scenario, even though there is no electricity at the moment with radio frequencies. So
which is
boom,
wild.
Chakalaka, look it up. It's not
boom,
BS.
Shakalaka.
It's been around for quite a bit of time. It actually came out like in 2018, 2019.
They started doing that in Africa, I think, first, right?
It was either that or South America, one of those 2 countries, and literally it's possible.
And you know what? Here's the facts, Rob. So it's a great question, Rob. Miguel was not telling you that that you were wrong with the question. He was just giving you some examples, and I want to go even one step further. If we have an actual doomsday scenario, what Miguel and I, as part of our project, are doing is trying to get people prepared. It doesn't need to be a doomsday scenario. It can be a natural disaster. It can be some form of government tyranny. It can be temporary food shortages. It can be all of these different things. It doesn't need to immediately go to the world's ending, right? It doesn't need to go there. But what we want to do is help you prepare for anything in the interim. But if we are in an actual doomsday scenario, I got to tell you, this is the reason that we were talking about rice and beans and ammunition and water being forms of currency, because I don't care what kind of currency you have. I don't care how much money you have. You won't be able to access it from a bank. The paper's not going to mean anything. It's going to be more valuable for you to burn than it is going to be to actually have the money to trade. None of that's going to matter. So crypto or anything else in a true doomsday scenario is not going to do anything. Let me say this, though. In short spurts, okay, when we see markets dump heavy because wild things and crazy and scary things are going on, this is not financial advice, but I will tell you that some of the best purchases I've ever made in the crypto space were when the fall around the world happened in March of 2020. When that dump happened in the crypto space, I capitalized on that dump, and I am not regretting the fact that I did that. So it is a risk, right? Because you don't know how long it's going to take to recover. That's why we always talk about not financial advice, and also don't invest more than you can, are prepared to lose. But the reality is you also have an opportunity to gobble up. What's the gentleman's name? I always forget his name. Warren Buffett said he made more money in 2008 from the financial crisis than he ever had in his life. He said, never let a good crisis go to waste. There's more people that have said that, but he also,
yeah, 100%
said that as well. So I don't know, Miguel, let me ask you this. What can people do? And obviously we've been talking about it, but what can people do as a simple idea to get involved in our project and then kind of start getting themselves into kind of this mindset of preparing?
Join the Discord. It's that simple. Join the Discord, and literally we're talking about all kinds of stuff in there. We're going to be dropping tons of more stuff as more and more get closer to the mint and after. And if you're a holder, you're going to see a whole new world of things happening for you in the Discord. So
yeah,
change your life by joining the Discord. If you really are into preparedness or want to get into it, want to be part of a community that is learning, right? Because there's all types of different preppers. There's the super intense, hardcore ex-Navy SEAL guy out there that has been prepping. He's got an entire army ready with him, a whole militia. And then there's the people that, just want to, make it day by day. They don't really know a lot about it, but they're somewhat interested, and they're trying to find where they can fit in. This is where you can fit in. It is a place for beginners to learn and to everybody share experiences of what they're doing in their lives to be able to be a little bit more prepared every single day.
Yeah, and I want to just touch on this. One with Nature, you said, what's your Discord? So the information is down below the video. If you literally look at the information below the video where you click like show more, it'll come up and you can jump into our link tree.
In the description of the video, open it up and you'll see the Discord link. And I'll take it directly.
The actual Discord link is there, not just the link tree, right, Miguel? The actual
the actual link to the Discord.
That's what I thought. Yeah, so make sure that you jump in there. Make sure you verify yourselves as well. But I want to take it one step further. You can jump into the Discord, but I want to tell you guys, we are, as per the people that get into the NFT project, we are going to have a private server where people are going to be able to communicate, where we're going to have a what's the word I'm looking for? Like an intelligence reports of sorts that we're going to be putting in there. There's going to be some really fun, important things for each and every one of you. So there's a whole lot of different factors there, but we just want you guys to be a part of the community. One of the things that we didn't mention, and I want to kind of finish this off, is that the community, you keep hearing people talk about communities. In California, it's illegal to collect rainwater. Well, you don't say, right? Because who would want to be able to put out a fire with rainwater if that happened? But I digress. We believe in the communities. Crypto family, check it out. Communities are built around these NFT projects. Why not build a community of people that genuinely care about each other's well-being, that genuinely want to say, hey, you need help? Boom, I got you. You got questions, I've got answers, right? Where we can actually collaborate and help each other take those next steps forward towards protecting and taking care of our families. I think it's important.
Dude, 100%.
Crypto fam, we love you guys. If nobody's told you that before today, we love you. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. As always, question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
And that includes food. We'll see you soon.